And good day, everyone. Welcome to Meditation Stepping Stones, meditation for you to use daily. I'm also, who am I? Well, geez, this is Deb Phelps, certified meditation instructor. And I'm glad to be joining with you today. It's been a while since I've done a live video for the meditation site, so I'm glad to be doing that today. And I'll be talking a little bit today about self-compassion, and then also I'll walk you through a meditation that you can do on your own. I'm not going to do the full meditation as it could take quite a bit of time. And I actually just did this meditation this morning. It's a form of loving kindness. And it's using the loving kindness, though, for self-compassion. And so there may be situations in your life that maybe you've made a mistake. Maybe there's something that you failed at or you feel like a failure. Maybe there's something that's been bothering you lately. Maybe you've been really criticizing yourself or feel inadequate in some way. Maybe there's a relationship that has had some issues and has broken up in some way. Maybe there's just a lot of self-judgment that you have, some fear, some anxiety about the future, that sort of thing. And so when we can bring loving kindness, that is compassion, love, kindness, when we can bring that into our meditation practice, it can really help us to soothe what we've been feeling. And so we'll focus a little bit on the heart with this as well, because that is where we want to be. We want to be kind and loving to ourselves. We've done all the critical thinking. We've heard the inner critic plenty of times, but now we want to work with the compassion, the care, the gentleness that we can do. So how you do this meditation is it's basically you get settled in your position, whether it's in a chair or if you're on a cushion, what have you. You want to get very comfortable, make sure your back is straight, that sort of thing. Your posture is aligned, yet has a little bit of resilience in there as well. You don't want to be straight as a soldier in that. So when you do that, you want to first be mindful of what's going on around you. Okay, so you'll be mindful of your body. How does your body feel as you're sitting in the chair or the cushion in that way? And then you want to move outward to sounds. What sounds are you hearing? And when you're doing this, you're not having any judgment about what you're hearing or what you're feeling within your body. You're using non-judgmental awareness, and that is what mindfulness is. It's non-judgmental awareness. So, okay, well, what sounds am I hearing? Okay, then you go into your breath. And so you're focusing on your breathing, the inhale and the exhale. Where do you notice that breath? Now, I practice mindfulness as my core meditation, and Vipassana meditation, well, it's either, it's at the nostrils. So are you feeling that at the nostrils? Or are you feeling it in the rise and the fall of the chest? Or are you feeling it in the diaphragm area in that way? So you're noticing your body. You're noticing the sounds around you, and now you're noticing your breath. And you do this for a time in the meditation. Like I said, I did it at our studio this morning, Meditate Madison. So if you're here in Madison, Wisconsin, please join us for these practices. But this went on for a good half hour or so for the meditation today. So that's why I'm not going to do that on here today. I may record it as a meditation that you could download at a later time. So now we're focusing on the breathing. And then you just notice then the peacefulness that's coming in at this point. Now allow to come to your mind with non-judgmental awareness. Remember that. That's the key here, is some aspect maybe it's a personality defect, maybe it's a mistake, a failure, a relationship that's gone asunder, whatever it may be, some criticism that you've had, just let that come into your awareness. Now, you don't want to dive in deep. You don't want to criticize yourself even more. It's like, oh, I'm aware of this relationship, or I'm aware of I made a huge mistake and it cost my checking account $500 or something like that. It's like, okay, that's what happened. Okay, so now I'm going to get in touch with the feelings that I have around that. Okay, the feelings that I have. What does it make you feel? Does it make you feel sad? Does it make you feel frightened, isolated, inadequate? And when you think about it, how does it make you feel? So now that we've done these preliminaries, we've gone to, okay, this is what it is that's going on. Now, how do I feel about it? And then not only how do I feel about it, but how do I feel within my body? Maybe there's a tightness in the throat. Maybe there's a heaviness in the heart area. Maybe you feel tension in your shoulders. And so what emotions do you feel about this? And then where are those emotions felt in the body? Okay, so as we've moved along, right, we've done our breath, now we're being aware of what that adverse thing is about ourselves that we don't like, and now we're noticing the feelings, the emotions that come up, and now the physical feelings that come up, and we just allow those to be there. Once again, this is about non-judgmental awareness. This is an observation. We're not diving into what caused those or whatever, going all the way back to our past. That's not what this is for. This is to be with it as it is now, right? And just allowing those feelings to come up too. We don't want to resist them either. We don't want to dive in too deep, but we also don't want to resist them. We want to allow those natural feelings to be there. This is all doing this, as I said, with a very kindness and a caring and a concern for yourself, that, okay, this is what's going on. I'm paying attention to what's going on. I'm not running away. I'm not trying to find something external to soothe myself. It could be eating or some other kind of addiction or shopping or whatever. We're going to notice those feelings right here, right now. And so we get in touch that, okay, I'm suffering because of this self-judgment, because of these fears of not being good enough. And the pain or the hurt that we have is all caused by the thoughts that we have, by the belief that we should be perfect. Okay? So now that I've noticed all this, now I come into the loving kindness part of this self-compassion practice. And what I suggested this morning in our practice at the studio, and also I'm going to suggest to you right now, is that you take your hand or both hands, right, and you place it very gently over your heart in a very calm and soft and comforting manner. You might even want to add a little soothing, reassuring circle as you do that. And that actually feels really nice when you do that. If you haven't done that with me now, do it right now. And how that feels. And then you can just sense where your heart is right now. And you can let your heart be moved by how difficult this emotional experience is when you think about whatever that thing is that makes you feel bad about yourself. Okay? So we just feel that for a moment. And now we move into some loving kindness phrases. Now these are different than the ones that I typically would use, and maybe ones that you've used. But these are ones to help us to feel compassion. Now, some of them are similar. Some of them are a little bit different. But it's really to show ourselves that we are an imperfect being here in the world. We try our best, but no one here on this planet is perfect. And we all make mistakes and we all have failures. This is the human experience, and it's okay. So that's where we go with it. And so these phrases you repeat silently to yourself, and maybe as I share these, you can do this right now as well. Okay? So may I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be kind to myself. May I accept myself as I am. And I'll repeat those again for you. So maybe if you're jotting them down, or if you're listening to me and you want to do it in your mind again, may I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be kind to myself. May I accept myself as I am. And then as you continue with repeating those phrases, you can keep your hand on your heart if you like. You really want to get in touch with the intention behind those words. The intention that you really wish for yourself, that you offer yourself this acceptance, this kindness, this compassion. Okay? And then if your mind starts to wander, you bring it back to, may I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be kind to myself. And may I accept myself as I am. Okay? And it's really giving yourself the same support that you would give to a very good friend who's feeling bad about themselves. That's what you do in this practice. And we remember that, yeah, we're human. That yes, we're going to make mistakes at times. And then towards the very end, you remember all your fellow humans who struggle with self-judgment just as you do. And then we change it to, may we all feel safe. May we all feel peaceful. May we all be kind of ourselves, right? May we accept ourselves as we are. And then as you continue with the meditation, you go back to yourself. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be kind to myself. May I accept life as it is. This is the way things are. And we keep going with this. And so, like I said, I did this for about 30 minutes in our Loving Kindness session today at Meditate Madison studio, but you can certainly take as long as you need, because as you get to the end, you want to notice that joy of compassion, the connectedness, the open-heartedness. And at the end, make sure you're feeling, if you had dropped your hands from your heart, feeling that in your heart again, comforting yourself, knowing that you have a compassionate self, that you have a good, supportive friend. And then certainly, may all be well, safe, happy, and free. So that's a little bit with that self-compassion practice that you could do for yourself. I do have some people that I am working with one-on-one personally on just this idea. We're working on loving kindness. That's what I did some time ago, as I worked on the loving kindness for myself too, because it was something I knew a lot of things. I've been meditating for a very long time, 38 years, but what I needed was that compassionate heart for myself. And there's still times where I have these feelings too, self-judgment and criticism and things that occur. And I have to practice this for myself. And I really enjoyed the session that I did this morning, because not only was I leading the folks through it, I was also practicing it for myself, because I had some things within the last week that I needed to practice self-compassion for as well. And, we teach what we want to learn. And so I teach meditation and mindfulness because it's something that I want to reinforce within my own being. And I hope that you'll want to continue with that too. So I do have personal sessions if you're interested in that. There is a workshop coming up on June 19th. It's meditation for pain relief. Now, this is not just physical pain. This is also emotional and mental pain too. So make sure you go to meditationsteppingstones.com, and I'll put that up here, meditationsteppingstones.com, and that will lead you to the page, and then up at the top where it's online, where you see online offerings, you'll see the online classes as well. And then if you are here in the Madison area, that will give you a link as well, or you could just go to meditatemadison.com, and so you can see the schedule of different classes and events that we have there as well. So I thank you so much for taking the time to practice some self-compassion, because it'll make a big difference in your life. So thank you so much for joining with me, and as always, I wish you peace. Namaste.